old man you knew before. He's gone forever, covered by the blood that was shed on Calvary. Now I'm a brand new man, being judged by God's own man. There's been a change in me. There's been a change in me. Change in me. I'm not the one I used to be. The things that passed away since Christ has set me free. There's been a change, been a change in me. There's been a change in me.
I believe we're going off the air. Stay tuned for Ariel Gibson.
Give your heart to him, become a believer in the one who is our lost soul receiver. There's nobody like him. You've never seen anybody like Jesus. You've never met anybody like him.
The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Hey, this is Mark Beckman with Independent Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here. We decided to change it up a little bit. I'm helping folks with their Medicare and TennCare questions. If you've got Medicare Part A and Part B, if you've got TennCare to go along with that, you most likely qualify for extra benefits at no cost. Please give us a call, 866-691-5571.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart, 423-566-5000, 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by Tennessee Outdoors. That is your outdoor store in Huntsville, Tennessee. They have everything from hunting, fishing, or anything that you can need to go out and have a good time. And for Outdoors Tennessee, they're a local Harshbarner outdoor equipment dealer featuring lawn tractors with 0 turns and up to 48 months for 0 interest. They have, like I say, they have guns, ammo, hunting and fishing license, supplies, handguns starting as low as $169. And on your way over, when you go by there, it's right straight across from where the Roman State Community College entrance is at. It's straight across the street on the right as you go out to Razak's. Also, True Value Homes on your way to Razak's, just right there in the corner of Highway 63 and Highway 27. And folks, if you have property, it's not being used, and you've always wanted that nice home, no trouble financing in most cases. I mean in most cases too. That property is your down payment. You don't have to have a down payment, you just have to have the property to put it on. And you can work out that deal with those folks. And they have some nice, just flat, nice homes. And Klothfelder, if you'll go over and tell them Ariel sent you, I greatly appreciate it. And their number is 663-8633. Also, Ron's Golf Carts and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. Folks, I went down this afternoon and just looked around and to see what you'd be surprised, especially if you're newlyweds or something, and you're like me. When you had to start out, you didn't start out with $10,000 worth of furniture. Well, they have some good beds, they have some good dressers, they have some good stuff like that. It comes and goes, and he works on them and cleans them up, make them nice, and you'll be happy. And also he has golf carts for rental, and that's behind Long John Silver's here in La Follette. Also, Riggs Drugs at Jacksboro, they're now open on Saturday until 1 o'clock, and they do take Humana. And the insurance company, I will have him back over here in another 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm surprised that there's not near as many people here in Campbell County jumping on that free insurance. I just don't understand it. I mean, they're getting enough, but folks, if you're out there and you got a red, white, and blue card, there's stuff out there that's not going to cost, and it helps you. It'll help you on your prescription drugs. It'll help you on your co-pays and stuff like that. And he has all that stuff for you, and I don't understand why you don't take advantage of it. I know I didn't take advantage of it till I realized I had already spent over $12,000 just paying the insurance premiums I didn't have to pay. So I don't understand. You need to give them a call. 866-691-5571 if you need that number again, and it's on their commercial. Okay, got a couple of things I want to talk to you about tonight. Then I want to get into if I can ever get a hold of anyone to exactly what the commission has done about your tax rate. And then I read Ann Hester's column this week, and evidently Mr. Slusher was ripping everybody at the workshop. So we'll see what did it do any good or did it not do any good. I'd like to hear some of your ideals on what you think they should do if they're not able. And does Mr. Slusher ever give them any things that they could do to actually solve some of the problems? And so you're on the air.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you a question there. Over in Brimstone, what kind of permit do you have to ride, or where they going to have that concert and stuff?
Well, you just have to get with the Brimstone, the office there in Huntsville, or go on the internet and look up Brimstone, and he'll tell you everything you need to know about it.
Okay, who's going to be over there this year?
There's
Is Travis Tritt?
No, Travis Tritt is over there. That's at Trails End. They're not. Travis Tritt is going to be at Trails End on September I believe the 5th. Is that on a Saturday night?
Yeah.
Now Brimstone's, they're not till the 18th and 19th.
Oh, okay.
And so, but Travis Tritt will be there at the Trails End.
Yeah. How much are the tickets on them?
Now their tickets last time for Trace Atkins was $38.
$38? Okay. Hey, Ariel, appreciate it, bud.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And folks, I've been doing on the air now for since 1994, and so I did a little bit of adding up and checking out the number of shows that I've done, and even whenever I come over here, I've done not just 2 hours a week. Sometimes I've done 3 and 4 hours. Not a lot of 4, but several 3s, because we had candidates want to come on, and I would get an extra hour and come on. But I want anyone to guess how many shows that I have done on TV here in this area and in Scott County combined, and how many hours on TV I have been on, and for all this time, how do I keep getting audiences? It's beyond me. I still get calls. We get to talk all the time. I love it. And so I'd like somebody to just take a guess, or 2 or 3, and talk about that a little. And when we get through and get somebody to call in or let us know what's going on or what happened at the county meeting tonight, I'm sure it's not over yet, because they don't allow you cell phones in the courtroom anymore, so I can't get a hold of anybody to give me an update. But as soon as they come out, I'll get an update. I think I will anyway, and we'll talk about that. And I want to talk about back to school. The kids are going back to school now. I want to talk about homework. I don't know where you all have the same kind of a problem that we're having, but right now, our kids, especially from the 4th grade down, which I don't understand why we have so much homework compared to what we used to have, and I believe it. Our kids got just as good an education back then as they do now, or maybe even better. The ones that wants to learn. Now, let's take me for instance. I don't know how I make it here. I really don't, because so many words that I cannot pronounce correctly to save my life. I mean, no matter how hard I try. Even my own family, especially the young ones, my granddaughters and even Mateo, which I'm going to beat him up some of these days for correcting me on how I pronounce my words. And, you know, it's just the way we grew up and the way we heard it, and that's the way we learned to say it. And if we tried to, whenever I was a kid, if you tried to use the English correctly, they would make fun of you, especially in my family, because my family, we never had, nobody had any education. There wasn't anybody in my family. Nobody had more than a 5th or 6th grade education. And like I say, I still don't understand why our kids has to come home with 2 to 3 hours of homework every night. Seems like we pay the teachers to do that teaching, and they go to school 7 hours a day. They have 4 classes, and sometimes 5. How they don't have enough time in study hall, which I always had study hall, so that was a time for us to get our lessons. But that little grandson of mine now brings home sometimes, well, last year we hadn't got into it as hardly as bad so far this year, but last year he would bring home 3 to 4 books of where he had homework to do in one night, and you work with him for 2 or 3 hours to get his homework. And I'm one of those that believe that there's so many people, when you send home young kids that much homework, the parents actually does the homework, and so the kids don't get nothing from it in the first place. So you have to slow it down. And anyway, I just want to know what you all think about it. You're on the air.
RL?
Uh-huh.
I know back when I was going to school, especially high school, we had study hall, and they took the study halls away from these kids, and that's why they're loaded down with books when they come home.
And you know what? At the 3rd and 4th grade, their backpacks, or I call them backpacks, but they weigh 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah, well, I was handicapped, and I had to pack them. I had to walk my walker and pack that backpack on my back, so I know all about them backpacks, buddy.
Okay. But do you have any children?
No, but I have 2 nieces, and fortunately they both have already graduated high school.
Oh, okay. But I'd like to hear from someone out there that has little kids. Is Campbell County loading their kids down with homework the way they do it? Especially Fairview. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you what happened last year. Whenever they had this year, spring break, they had enough homework that they had to have, and they had it in sections, 1 for every day. They had to turn that back in when they went back to school. Well, I thought when they had spring break and stuff, when we had it, we didn't get no homework. We went on vacation.
Well, you know, back when I started school in the 1st grade, 1971, we started school after Labor Day.
Right.
And then we got out in May. And I also think that they're starting school too early for these kids also.
Well, now, it used to be that they would take a break after they started school so kids could take in the fall crops, the corn, the potatoes, and all that stuff, in like a 2-week break. And that was way back there, you know, back in the 40s. But now, I just don't understand why that the kids has to have a lot. I can see, okay, today, my grandson has 4 different rooms he has to go to.
Right.
And, you know, we had a homeroom and that's where we stayed.
Yeah.
The teachers was changed, huh?
Yeah. Is your little grandson in middle school? Or?
He's in grade school. He's in the 4th grade.
He's in 4th grade?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like my mom said, when we first started elementary school, I went to a little, my brother went to a little country school. I was homebound because I was handicapped.
Uh-huh.
And they taught 3 grades to a room.
Uh-huh.
1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then we had the 7th and 8th in the elementary out here in the 70s, and then they switched 7th and 8th and 9th over to Jacksboro in I think about 78 is when they moved it.
Well, and like I said, right now my little grandson is, he don't like changing classrooms every hour.
Right. And, you know, well, back when I went to school, and back when you and my parents were going to school, we had teachers that really taught us, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I had a homebound teacher from the time I was in 1st grade till my 10th grade year, and by my junior year, the doctor said they wanted me to go to public school, which was the best thing that ever happened to me because it got me out of my shell.
Uh-huh.
But my point is, you know, we really had them, you know, we really had them teachers, and they really cared. I'm not saying that we still don't have them, but they're few and far between.
It's not like it used to be, for sure. And like I say, I still don't understand why kids have to take home so much homework. And another thing I don't like at all, I don't like the schools making sales people out of our children and bringing home this and that, and you know, and every little kid wants to compete.
Yeah.
And they've got to buy a bunch of junk stuff, you know, jewelry or now who in the world ever wants to buy a whole carton of apples or oranges?
Yeah, or some kind of food that ain't worth nothing.
That's true. And the jewelry, you know, you can go down here and get it 10 cents a dozen, and they'll sell it, and they send it home, and then, we get half of that, or we get a percentage of that.
We went through that with the girls, and they just, you know, they just pounded them to death, even up through high school.
Right. And, you know, I won't buy, the kids come to the house, I know I won't buy anything, but I'll ask the principal or someone, can I just donate whatever the profit is of that, if they sold it to me, because I don't want their merchandise.
Right, I get where you're coming from, I understand that.
I don't want their merchandise, but I don't want the kids to be out here at night or even in the evening after school out here selling, and we're taking people that using those kids and making a monster profit. Not the schools, but the companies, and I would not let those companies step foot in my door for a fundraiser.
Here's the thing about it. They go to school to get an education, not to sit at school all day and get their homework and then get out and work. I mean, they do have school during the day. Don't make them get out and work for something.
That's what. Now, but used to, I know my mother-in-law and my wife, when our kids were just small, the good Lord, we never let our kids come in last.
Right, and well, that's the way with these girls now. Back when my mommy and daddy was going to elementary school, and of course Daddy didn't make it to high school. He had to work, but Mommy went, and she said, as soon as you got home, you had to go work in the field. So
Absolutely.
I kind of think you all had a little bit rougher than what we did.
Well, I'll have to be honest with you. Now, my grandparents had a lot of kids of their own,
Yeah.
and they were treated a lot different than I was treated for one simple reason. I was a very sickly person, and I was so small. Whenever I was in the 5th grade or 6th grade, I weighed 54 pounds.
Gee whiz.
And whenever I went to high school, I didn't weigh 100 pounds. And I was I was the smallest kid in school. And whenever I graduated from high school, I you know, they line us up and how high you are or how tall you are to the tallest. Well, I was the shortest, and there was a few short girls in there. But now I was about 4 foot 8 inches tall whenever I graduated from high school, and I grew up to 5 foot and 3 inches tall. That's what I am now.
5'3".
5'3".
There ain't nothing wrong with that, though.
No, well, you know, there's a lot of young men are out there now that only in 5'3", 5'4", 5'6", you know, not a lot different. But I grew, what was it, 7 inches after I got out of high school.
But I see your point about these kids having too much homework. Because we went through the same thing with the girls when they were in school, and they would bring 6 or 8 books home.
And that's not right.
No, it's not. It'd be 11 o'clock sometimes before they even got in bed.
I understand, and I think we pay the teachers to do that, especially now. Like I said, how many parents in Campbell County that has kids in the 3rd or 4th grade is going to keep those kids up till 9 o'clock or longer just in order to finish up homework?
They don't, because little fellas don't get enough sleep. They have to keep them up like that. They ain't gonna get no sleep.
Appreciate your call.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, if you, is there anybody out there that actually is in the same situation that I'm in? Now, what happens is my little grandson, he gets home around 3:30, and the first thing we'll do is if he wants to eat something, and like, you can't go down to McDonald's or someplace or a fast food. There's so many people down there now when school turns out, you can't run, and where I live there's not any anyway, but the first thing he wants when he gets home is he wants some country food. So anyway, then we go into study. Then I have to have him at football practice at 6 o'clock. Or 15 till 6 is actually, and then he gets home, he has to do more homework when he gets home with his mom and dad. And I just don't see it. I mean, I think you can overload, and myself, I believe in 3 classes: reading, writing, and arithmetic, or math, whatever they call it now. We call it arithmetic. If you can learn those and learn to read good, you can learn just about anything, or you can be taught just about anything. And all this other stuff is just some of the vocabulary words that's in the book that they use on 3rd and 4th graders is ridiculous. But who's to say? Give us a call. We'll talk to you about anything. And I want to mention before I go, Honeybee. My website. If you've got any suggestions for any topic, and it's an issue. I mean, if it's an issue to you, it doesn't matter. email it to me. We'll look into some of those things and try to find out. Now, I'm not a Facebook person. I get 10 Facebook things every day wanting to know this, wanting to know. I'm not a Facebook person. I'll read and that's in my emails. I'll read those and I'll check things that's on the internet that might be a subject you all want to talk about. But I don't get on Facebook. Again, that's usually their own thoughts, and that's not what I'm interested in. So anyway, I'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
And your
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
A Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Okay, folks. Hey, tell your friends and neighbors to get it on TV. We're going to give you some breaking news here in a minute, folks. True Value Homes. Hey, they're outselling any mobile home or prefab home in this area than anybody. So you want to buy a nice home, and if you got some property, that's your down payment. They'll set it on it, and that's True Value Homes in Huntsville, Highway 63 and 27. They're 663-8633. Ron's Golf Carts, you know, they've got a nice golf carts and a flea market down there. It's just flat nice, folks. And you go by and see Ron. Riggs Drugs, Jacksboro, they're open on Saturdays till 1 o'clock now, and they sell, they take Humana insurance. And Tennessee Outdoors, folks, I just hope you'll go by, and it's on the opposite side of the road as you're going west on Highway 63 in Huntsville, across from Roane State Community College. And they have ammo and lawn and tractors, goods, and they just have a great, and then they sell furniture too. You're on the air. Go ahead, you're on the air. Call me back if I missed you. I'm sorry. Okay. I got a $64,000 question for you. The tax increase did not pass tonight. Now, my question to you is, how is Campbell County going to continue to run if they had to have that big of an increase? Because, you know, last year they said we're going to cut this down, but we're going to end up with about a 13 or 14% increase. But we're going to be able to give each one of the districts, what was it, $85,000 to, and you, I don't know why they're supposed to buy, I believe, $500,000, where they actually refinance some stuff and cut down that the interest rate where they can save the $500,000 or something other. I don't know how, but anyway, what are they going to do now? This is because, you know, they may have one more month that they must submit a budget. Now, they may be able to go through September, but they must submit a budget to the state. If they don't, they cut off their funding, just like they did Jellicoe. So the tax rate fell tonight. Now, I've got another subject I want to talk to you about, and maybe I can stir up a little interest in this one. Donald Trump today, I heard him talking to a reporter, and he's saying that if he's elected, that even the children of illegal immigrants would be deported. It means if there's somebody here in Scott County that's been here for 15, 20 years, sent their kids through high school, and born in America, but he, you know, unless, I don't know what level, that he would deport them. I want to know what you all think about that. You're on the air.
Pack their bags. Don't you dare speak bad of that man and what he said today.
Oh my God.
That's exactly right. Load the buses, load the trains. Let's get it out of here. Let's get this country back going. Take NAFTA, cancel it out, do an executive signature on it, take it away. What has happened since that happened? What's this country become since NAFTA? Now you tell me if we've not been swamped in every state with them. I can't blame somebody starving to death to want to come to here, but you've got to do it legally. I worked with a man in Florida and it took him 15 years to get here legally, and he asked me to go with his swearing-in ceremony. And it was the proudest day of the man's man's life. He come from Italy to here. But he done it the right way. And he was proud to be an American. And I mean, absolutely. But that's where we're politically correct, and he's saying the things that nobody else wants to say. But I'm telling you, these poll numbers, they show it. You know, I mean, he's saying, you know, when he picks somebody off to the left or to the right, I mean, you tell me, you know how Fox is with my party. Well, I mean, is he back down from Fox? I mean, he's got Fox on edge. So, let me tell you, I'm agreeing with 99.9% of the stuff the man says.
Oh, Lord.
It's the truth.
Oh, Lord. Listen.
You know it is.
Well, now, listen. You're not as old as me. You didn't have to go across the Mason-Dixon line to get a job.
Hey, but listen now.
And believe me, there was two Americas then.
Well, we need one. We've only got a corner of one now. I mean, we don't have much of one the way it is.
Best country in the world.
Huh?
It's the best country in the world.
Oh, without a doubt. But people should have to come here legally.
Oh, I agree with that.
What about the people that come in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s that done it right? Is it fair to them? For them people that come and busted their backs and broke their backs and worked all their life and proud to be? What about your ancestors and my ancestors that come here?
Yeah, we were Dutch Germans.
So, well, but I mean, it wasn't no picnic for them to come in. They didn't just walk right in.
Oh, heck no. But here's the thing about it.
People came here. That's what everybody forgets. You know, and it wasn't done illegally, I promise you.
The thing about it is, it's not as many Mexicans as people wants to say. They're from all over South America. They come up that highway through Panama and
everywhere. It's everywhere. I'll call that.
Absolutely. And
like you go to Florida, and you know all the Cubans and the Haitians, they hate Mexicans.
That's right.
I mean, there's no Mexicans in Florida. People here on vacation say, "Lord, there are Mexicans everywhere." There's a Mexican one in Florida.
Not many.
You know, well, there are few and far between. You know, but I mean, what he is saying on most of that stuff is true, and nobody wants to, you know, man up and say it. So I commend the man, and I tell you what, we're about going to be on the brink of somebody else taking over this country.
I don't think so.
People can say, oh no.
But now I know he said that instead of 11 million illegals, it's more like 30 to 40 million.
And he's right. Have you been across this country in the last 20 years?
Oh yes.
Okay, well you tell me any major city that you go to now, you know, any of them with all the construction work and road work and stuff, and tell me who's working.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Tell me right now, if let's just say we took every one of the Mexican workers out of the state of Tennessee and out of Campbell County. I'm talking about illegals, not just who would we get to mow the side of the roads? Who we could get to?
Now wait a second. What you need to do is include that. What you need to include in that comment is the people that they're working for. You know, because that ain't who the head honcho is.
No.
Because used to, you know, like when you go down I-75 and I-40, you know, you see white or black men on them tractors, you know, cut that grass. You don't see that no more. But you can bet your sweet hind end it's a white or black man that owns them tractors, but the Mexicans are
right. Absolutely. And here's another thing that
them people need to go. That's the ones that need to go. They need to go to the countries and let them. It ain't about Mexicans. I mean, it ain't Mexicans. And so, because don't think I'm prejudiced towards that, because I'm not. You know, and I mean, you know, and people say, well, it sounds like you are. It's absolutely not. It's the people that they work for that don't pay them nothing that I blame. I was in the construction business. I could have had, you know, guys working for nothing. I didn't have it in me to pay a man nothing to work. There's not a man in this county. I've worked over 200 men in this county. There's not one man in this county that can say I didn't pay them more wages than they ever made, you know, anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I treated men fair even 30 years ago, and I would pay them wages way beyond they could do in the trades that they were doing. But they were loyal and happy to me, you know, to work for me, and I was blessed, you know, that I treated them well, and they treated me well.
Yeah.
When I had to leave a job or do a job, they done their work.
Be honest with me. Be totally honest with me. Let's remove every Hispanic person that's on a construction work right now in Campbell County or across this state. Is the workforce there to fill those voids?
They are, but that's what I'm saying.
They won't work.
No, wait a second. There's a guy here in town, I'm not going to mention no names, that has got a good sized company going. That probably 80% of his workforce is Mexicans now. You know, that's his workforce. But he don't have to pay them men what he would have to pay somebody else to a job. Because most people ain't going to go and bust their back and break their necks for peanuts. These guys are still doing it. And he's sitting back getting fat. You know, I mean, he's rolling in the dough because of it. But that BS from the top, I mean, he needs to take his little outfit to Mexico. Let him go down there and work on them wages down there and live on them wages. You know, because it's wrong for him to work men for nothing. You know, and then here we are in the Bible Belt. Let me get you going on a good one here. You know, we live right in the middle of the Bible Belt. Well, when somebody gives you 3 bids on a house to come pressure wash your house, a guy bids $1,500, and then a guy comes and bids $1,200, and then a guy comes and says, I'll do it for $350. 90% of the people here are going to take the $350 guy. Oh, Lord, I'm going to save the money. You know, instead of thinking, you know, well, these guys are going to be out here working for nothing. They're not making no money. Is that right of me, you know, to work these guys for nothing? You know, or is it right of me to pay what it should cost to get this job done? You know, an honest wage. So would you feel more comfortable paying that guy the $350 and his guy, you know, not even making $70 a day? You know, something that you can't live on? Or would you feel comfortable where them guys come out there and able to make a couple $100 a day and be able to buy a house and buy a car instead of having to live in a slum shack, you know, and stuff. But people don't do it. That's how they do. They want that lowest, that cheapest, you know, and that's how they are. In the real world, throughout this country, that ain't how it works. You know, in construction, you know, it ain't always the lowest bid that gets the job. You know, it might be, you know, on something that the city takes or the county takes or whatnot. But out in the real world of the construction, that ain't how it is.
Well, let me ask you this. That's just, you know, there's a lot of road work and stuff like that. And you know that between some, like even on the interstate, some of the bids can be as much as $1 million or more difference in those bids. And our state, most of the time, they take those low bids. And our county takes those low bids. Is that always smart?
Absolutely not. I mean, you pay for what you're going to get what you pay for. That's the bottom line, you know, in anything. It's just like when what you choose to drive in your vehicles and cars. If you want to pay for nothing, that's what you'll drive is nothing. if you want to come out with the money, you could drive something nice. So, I mean, it's with everything you do. It ain't just construction. It's everything.
Oh, yeah.
Work over there in Levi's. You know, I mean, you know what them men and women that work in that plant, you know your hardest working employees, the lowest paid employees. Now the people that's doing that same job that you manage them people to do, where are them jobs today and what are them people making? Nothing. Absolutely peanuts for the same thing that people buy today. And I mean, the people.
Now, whose fault is that? Is that the company's fault, or is that mine and your fault of how we purchase our stuff?
NAFTA has a lot to do with it.
I don't think so.
You truly don't think that NAFTA.
Now, I think.
You didn't see the change in the corporations that you were.
Well, no, wait. Let me just kind of clarify what I said. I don't think that it was NAFTA that kept it going. What happened was, you know, they was trying to stop this illegal immigration into the country so bad. Let's move some of this stuff over. Well, everything moved over, and these companies, instead of becoming actual manufacturing companies, they became marketing companies. And so your Hilfigers, the Wrangler, Russell, Lee.
Your Nike tennis shoes that you pay $180 a pair from come from Indonesia.
Right.
Where the kid, where a 12-year-old kid has done the sewing on it, you know, and made 15 cents for that pair of shoes.
So what happened is, and in my estimation, and now this is just my idea, Levi's was the last company to go. In fact, about it, they tried to sell out. They absolutely tried to sell the company and get out because they had made a pledge that they would never do that. But after going down from a $7.2 billion a year company down to under $4 billion a year in 1984, that was just after NAFTA had been in place for a little while, or was starting to go into place, but then it hadn't got into place until 1996 or something like that, whenever it was a Republican.
No. Whoa,
wait a minute. No. It was
Republican.
It was a Republican ideal, and they had the House and the Senate and Bill Clinton as Democrat president, and Bill Clinton signed that bill.
He begged for that to happen.
And
Clinton become. Look here. What was Clinton's net worth before he went into office and after NAFTA was signed? And what was his?
Well, I don't think NAFTA had anything to do with it. He sold.
You don't think it did?
No, not with him. I don't. I think that I really do think that NAFTA was started, and whenever it started, I actually supporter of it. But I later became a non-supporter of it. But here's my way of thinking. It's not the Hispanic, it's not Indonesia, it's not China, it's me and you, because we go to Walmart and we buy their products. And whenever Sam Walton lived, it was proud to be made in America, all over his trucks and all this. There ain't nothing made in America down there no more.
No, you and correct yourself in saying you and me go to Walmart. I do not go to Walmart. I absolutely do not.
Well, I don't go except when I have to.
Now, I do. I refuse to, and I do the dollar stores, and everything is everywhere around us. Going to it, I go absolutely around it. I don't care. There is no reason for me to go there.
Well,
their ships are sinking too. Go to Arkansas and look what they're doing down there now. In 5 years now, every place that you see a Dollar General store, every place that you see one, you will see a little miniature Walmart right there beside it. So, I mean, I don't know if you'd seen that back 3 or 4 years ago, where they're losing so much money to them.
Yeah.
the Dollar Trees, the dollar stores, the Family Dollars, and so now all over Arkansas they got them on test markets. Go down too close to Bentonville. Go up 100-mile circle of Bentonville. Look how many of them you see.
Okay.
And they'll be just like Walgreens and CVS. Everywhere you see a Walgreens, just go out the door and open your eyes and look around. You'll see a CVS within your sight.
But you know, right now you can't buy a pair of shoes. You can't buy a garment anywhere in the United States that's made in America hardly.
It's all gone. I mean, it's all gone, and it's sad.
But I can go down here at Walmart, which I know it's not the same quality, and I can get just a leather belt, okay? One of those has got the holes in the center that where it don't just stretch out of shape all the time. You know, a halfway decent, nice belt. But I go to Dillard's and I pay $44 for the same, almost the same belt. Now the thing about it is, if I'm paying $9 for one, I can buy 5 belts and that probably lasts me the rest of my life. That one belt's not going to last me the rest of my life. And the thing about it is, I believe that we have to find a way, like you said, where we pay a decent wage, and these people that's becoming multi billionaires like Donald Trump, you think he cares a bit about you or me or anyone else?
Absolutely not. Do you think anybody in that office in the last 20, 30 years has? They don't care about you.
They don't care.
Not an absolute one iota about you, me, or the other 350 million Americans in this country. So, I mean, but he tells it. I mean, he tells he's took the lobbyist money. He tells he's paid the lobbyist money. No one else will say that, and they've all done the same thing.
Absolutely, and I don't think there's a hill of beans difference in a Republican or a Democrat right now, except only difference in the Republicans right now is I just think that they're trying to interject religion in totally running our country, and I think that is a dangerous thing.
I'll tell you one thing on the Democrat, on our president that we have now. Now, they had it was on one of the news shows the other night, and I watched it, but they asked the president himself, the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of Defense, and 2 of the highest ranking generals in the military, who was our biggest threat. Did you see that? Where they all come up with 5 different answers. Now, under one cabinet now, they all had 5 different answers.
I didn't see that.
Go back and see if you can.
I don't think ISIS is that. I think it, and I don't think China. I've said it all along. China it'll happen to them the same way it happened to Japan.
You had that, and one of them had picked China, and of course, you know, just 2 years ago, Russia was 13th on the list, and now they're in the top 5 because we're not doing what we should against Russia now. We should we should do just like they did with Saddam. They should mark one of them little rockets with his name and put it right up his behind.
Okay.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah, there's no question.
And they're going to continue on, and it'll happen. It's going to happen unless you get somebody up in their stern. Donald Trump's thing is, if he can get somebody that knows world politics, he knows economics. The minimum wage in this country should without a doubt be 15. There's nobody that should make under $100 a day, because that's still not enough money.
No.
You know, and at $15 an hour, $120 a day wage, there's if anybody will get their hind end out of the bed, I don't care if you sweep a floor or if you put shingles on a roof, there's nobody in this country that should make less than that. I mean,
well, you know, and Obama's been trying to get that to do that, and we got they just won't do it. And you know why? It's lobbyists.
He got up to 10 cents and a dime per bedroom on federal ground.
You mean $10.10.
$10.10, and that's what it is on federal. Anything federal that you have a contractor works on there, that's what they.
That's the minimum wage.
That's the minimum wage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but everybody ain't lucky though.
Well, I know just not too many years ago, and I've been getting calls, but we'll get to those calls right after we take our break, because we're within a couple of minutes.
I'm sorry, I'll pick up the message.
No, heck, I enjoy this conversation so much.
I do you too. So, and you have a safe trip home, and I hope all is well with your wife and yourself, my friend.
Okay, appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're on the air. Okay, we're coming up on a break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark Beckman with Independent Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here. We decided to change it up a little bit. I'm helping folks with their Medicare and TennCare questions. If you've got Medicare Part A and Part B, if you've got TennCare to go along with that, you most likely qualify for extra benefits at no cost. Please give us a call, 866-691-5571.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Okay, folks. You know, my sponsors, I really appreciate them a lot. And, you know, sometimes I might tell you this or I might tell you that. But one thing about the sponsor that at Tennessee Outdoors, I don't know if there's finer a couple anywhere. They came from Kentucky about 10 years ago or something like in that neighborhood. And they bought the True Value, or Value Mart, not True, but Value Mart store, furniture store there in Huntsville, and they built a new store, and they got Tennessee Outdoors. They had it down at the old store, but not like they've got now. It is really nice. And folks, you won't be able to deal with any better people than Judy and Dennis Jackson. And if you go over there, you tell them an Ariel sent you, and if it's nothing but just a conversation, you're going to meet some mighty fine people. And again, they have furniture, they have guns, they have rods and reel, they have lawnmowers, they got those rental trucks, U-Hauls, and all this kind of stuff. And it's, like I say, it's just a nice place to to shop. They got a lot of different stuff. Also, True Value Homes. They got you a deal. I mean, it's you couldn't ask for anything better. If you've got this little plot of ground over here that you haven't used forever, and it's just sitting there. And you wanted this house. You can't sell the land most likely because it's over here by itself and it's over in the country. But you can use that for a down payment. You don't have to have $20,000 to get into a new home. You don't have to have $10,000. You don't have to have. You go over there and check with the True Value Homes. And Ron's Golf Carts and Flea Market bringing you tonight's show. And you know where it's at. And folks, he's got some nice golf carts down there. He's got some very old golf carts down there at very low prices. But I tell you, if it's a battery operated golf cart that you want, there's very little maintenance on those. They can last forever. And the biggest deal with them is ever so often you have to buy new batteries, but those new batteries are about $600. And you're offering like a new one again. So anyway, check them out. And also, Riggs Drugs at Jacksboro, they're open on Saturdays now till 1 o'clock. And they now take Humana insurance. Now, again, I had calls while I was talking to my previous caller, and I'm ready to hear whatever you got. I think Donald Trump would be a disaster, but he's right now probably the best thing going for Hillary or the Democrat Party. And I don't know, but we know what happened whenever Ross Perot got into the deal. It never works, but when you look around and you say, well, Trump is leading now. Okay, he gets 25% of the vote. About anywhere you go, it's 25%. But the other folks, the other 15 or 16 candidates there, they're getting 75% of the vote. So is Donald Trump going to pick up all those people? I heard Lindsey Graham say, well, see, and I don't agree with that. He said, I'll hold my nose and I'll vote for him if he was to get the nomination. Now, one thing that I did like about Trump is he would not say what they wanted him to say. They tried to set him up. Fox News, it was the hardest, because Fox News wants to run our country, and so does NBC wants to run our country on the other side. So I think that somewhere along the way we're going too far on this kind of stuff, but now if you was voting today, I seen a Hazel Valley call in a while ago. I know he wants to comment on one of those things, and give me a call. I can remember, and we was talking about getting products from different countries and this and that. I can remember that when people wouldn't buy a Toyota. I'm not going to buy a bunch of Japanese crap. And it turns out to be the car of the year, time after time after time, because they come along and run Chevrolet and Ford. Did run Chevrolet into the ground, almost run Ford. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Oh, it's good. You look good.
Anytime that I can argue politics, I love it.
Makes you feel good, huh?
Yes.
Well, hey, did you pick up a Christian Journal today?
Yes, I did.
Does it still have Mike Levinsky's name as the editor?
I didn't look for that. I don't never look at that. but I'll look.
I've been hearing some interesting rumors. He's allegedly been kicked out by his wife.
Well, now, I don't know about that.
And she was the money.
Well, it says here by S.M. Szyczki.
Okay, so he's still listed as registered. We didn't. Maybe Aunt Hester knows more about this than anybody.
Well, I'd say that Aunt Hester's like me. She wouldn't get involved in a personal matter like that.
Well, it's not that we're getting involved, R.L. It's just this.
Just information, huh?
It's a good newspaper, and if his woman who fronts everything.
Now I can remember.
Is the paper in jeopardy? I think.
Well, listen, I heard you say not more than 3 months ago that it was a rag that you never read.
What now?
You said that the Christian Journal was a rag and you never read it.
I don't recall it.
Yeah, well, I do.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. I bet you there's other people.
Before we're recording now.
I bet you there's other people after I've heard that. Now,
I always refer to it as a Pollock press. I never said it was a rag.
Well, I'm saying.
When Perkins was sheriff, I called it the Perkins press because he would go over to Sheriff Perkins' office and get his stories out of the logbook. And Goins won't let him do that, so he's actually having to do some journalistic research and go out and get some stories. But I've always admired his work, and I've always said that I admire him as a person because he was a refugee from Polish communism. And he was part of that labor movement. Walewski, or whatever his name was, he was part of that labor movement, and the government went after him, the secret police. He came to this country under the threat of assassination and was a political refugee. I've had nothing but the highest respect.
You know,
I always cut up with him to his face about the Pollock press and stuff like that. And he always laughs and cuts up right back. And he's an integral, important part of our community. And if that paper is in jeopardy, that's a community issue. That's not a private issue.
No, it's not a private issue about whether the company goes or not, but it is a private issue whether he and his wife are separated, or because he's not a public figure.
If his wife has kicked him out, that's of a concern to the success and perpetual continuance of the newspaper.
Well, I don't know about that. That's something I don't want to talk about.
How can we not live? If that paper goes belly up, we don't get Aunt Hester anymore. How can we live without that? This is a very important issue.
Okay.
And I am really concerned. I am.
Well, I get it every week, but the thing about it is, it's.
Don't you think the paper's improved the last 4 or 5 years?
Oh, no question about it.
Huh?
There's no question. It has improved. But now, did you see the part where the citizen speaks out against tax increase? Schlesinger?
No. I've not got a subscription to that newspaper. I should have one. I used to pick one up every week.
Oh boy, I'm telling you what. It's on the front page. It's citizen speaks out against tax increase, and boy, he put down the mayor in this like about a 4-hour workshop and asked him because the mayor wouldn't answer him. He'd asked him questions. How would you vote? And he said that it's not his place. He don't vote. that's the county commission, and he says, okay, let's just say it's split right down the middle. How are you going to vote? He wouldn't make no comment, and it goes on. I said it was the argument from Slusher and others lasted 2 hours of the 4-hour meeting.
Well, I'll tell you what, if that vote fails tonight,
It failed.
then wonderful. Jim Slusher is a hero to the people of Campbell County because he has carried the torch all the way against this tax increase. Now, there was supposed to have been another vote at 5 o'clock. The LPMS was supposed to bring Jeff Morrow's employment up for a vote. And David said he was going to make the motion and that he had the vote to fire Jeff Morrow in the LPMS committee. But then it would be bumped up to the county commission, and they did not think they had enough votes to fire him up there.
Well, that was supposed to happen last month, because I went down there, and they just turned right around and didn't do nothing.
Well, David declared that he had it lined up again, and that he was going to make the motion this time. He wasn't too sure about the votes a month ago, but he's absolutely sure he had them this time on the FMS committee, and they were going to bring it up again tonight at 5 o'clock. So, have you not heard anything about that?
No. But and let me ask you this.
Hopefully, Jerry will drop by and give you the news.
Well, I've tried to get a hold of Jerry 5 or 6 times, but he got no answer back. I don't know. They may still.
Well, they may still be in the courthouse.
Right.
You know, Jerry was in favor of this tax increase.
He was at the beginning, that's for sure.
Well, he still was today when I talked to him.
Oh, okay.
See, him and Jim Slusher on opposite sides of this issue, even though they are on the same show together and they confront these issues together.
But my question is, how is Campbell County going to receivership, or are they going to?
Hey, look, all they have to do is cut costs. RL, not one single department down there has cut one paperclip from their budget. Now, Monty Bullock came on there, and I'm sure he's watching tonight. My employees have received a raise in 9 years. You know, they all get built-in raises. It's all built in. But even those raises are small, and with the amount of money the government takes out of your paycheck anymore, they probably make less today than they did 10 years ago, even with their built-in state-mandated incremental raises. But if I'm not mistaken, Monty Bullock has 4 secretaries, and each one of them earn over $30,000 a year. We have the largest finance office in the state of Tennessee. We have an ambulance service that's totally incompetent, and that costs us $3 million a year. They could privatize that, save $3 million, and get paid by the company that gets the free market area of Campbell County to serve as a private ambulance service. They would pay the county for that service. So we would not only cut $3 million off the top, we would save, we would earn money from that, probably $300,000 or $400,000 a year. And also the fund balance. If anybody read the paper last week when the budget was published and made public, the fund balance is the largest in the state of Tennessee. We have like $9 million sitting there not being used.
Well, let me ask you this. How are they going to make up for
it? It's not like we need a tax increase. And Slusher, Jim Slusher, who understands finance, has pointed all this out over and over. And obviously, he finally convinced enough county commissioners tonight that they don't need a tax increase, they need management.
I know he'd give them mayor, but let me ask you this. How are we gonna make up for the shortfall of probably your largest employer as far as manufacturing goes when A&S Steel left?
Well, it ain't up to government to make that up. It's not government.
Wait a minute. The monies, no, the monies that they pay in taxes.
Well,
You know how much,
people are gonna go get a job somewhere else.
no, that's not what I'm saying. The taxes, you know, that, Fruhall, Wabash, or which, changed hands 3 or 4, you know how much that goes into the county every month from out of, their, profits or out of what, their rights to operate in Scott County? $40,000 a month.
They pay $40,000 a month.
Yes.
Well, you know, your mayor over there probably makes that much.
The mayor here makes more than they do over there.
Well, he probably steals that much every month.
I don't know about that.
Who is the mayor over there?
Dale Perdue.
Dale Perdue? Never heard of him. I didn't know we had any Perdues in Scott County.
He's one that used to own Hellenwood Foods.
Hellenwood Foods. That was a small corner market, wasn't it?
That's not.
But hey, thank you for taking my call.
Well, okay, what do you think about Donald Trump before you go?
Donald Trump, he's stirring everything up, but I'm for the Canadian. You know who's Canadian?
Yeah, I do.
We tried a Kenyan who was raised in Indonesia, who came to America as a foreign exchange student, or as a foreign citizen of a foreign country, and got tax benefits for being
Well, let me ask you another question, be honest.
We tried a Kenyan and it didn't work.
Well, is times better now than they was under George Bush?
Not for me. And my understanding is we have something like 100 million people out of work. The government only counts about.
Well, the thing about it is, they must all be working. I'm telling you, try to drive to Knoxville at any time during the day, and traffic's bumper to bumper, and whenever George Bush was in there and gas was at $3.70 a gallon, I could drive from here all the way home and never meet 2 cars.
Now, you actually think Obama has anything to do with those gas prices?
I'll talk to you later.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Well, Jerry's calling in now. Let me get this.
Hey, thank you for coming over here and putting up with us.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You on the air?
I'm on the air.
Am I on the air?
You're on the air.
What do you want to know?
I want to know how the vote went. I want to know if they actually addressed the issue of firing Marlowe this.
The FLSD did bring it up. Of course, Jeff Marlowe objected and said, you can't do this. It's not on the agenda. They waited till Joe Coker got there, and then Joe Coker took Jeff Marlowe's side, said you can't do this. It's got to be on the agenda. Of course, there were several people sitting around because Joe Coker has always took Jeff Marlowe's side. They just said anything different. So what they've done, they set another meeting for an announced meeting for that specific purpose for next Monday, I think it's 5 o'clock, and then they're going to have a special called county commission meeting on the agenda for that specific purpose following the FMS committee meeting.
Okay.
So that'll be the way that's going to go. Whether there's enough votes there or not to do it, who knows? But it's going to come out next week.
Okay.
So they're still going. I've heard enough. They're still going.
Oh, they still going, huh?
They're still going. The county commission meeting, they talked about the tax issue, the property tax issue. There was a standing room only crowd and a bunch of other stuff. on any sort of tax increase, a tax stay, nothing. Not a one of those cowards has the guts to even make the motion relating to the tax rate.
So they didn't pass or didn't reject it either way.
There's not one of them cowards or cowards.
Nobody voted.
Nobody, they not voted. Nobody even made a motion. E.L. Morton did, I tell you this, E.L. Morton did a fantastic job after he could not get a motion any way whatsoever in saying, okay, I have broken this thing down, and this is what I think we can do to make things work and still get some progress in this county, and got it down to about 20, instead of a 48 or 49 cent tax increase, got it down to a 25 cent property tax increase with some really good initiatives in there, okay? He just, and they, not one of them cowards, again, cowards is my word, okay? Not one of them would even make a motion still yet, okay? So what my understanding is they're going to do is, they haven't done it yet, if my understanding, I talked to the deputy mayor, they're going to put it off until they're going to recess and come back tomorrow night and try to finish this thing, okay? What they're obviously hoping will happen is that over half of those people won't show back up, and then they can get brave again, and then, maybe set the tax rate.
So
while all these people were sitting there, they were every single one of them too afraid to make a motion to even set any kind of tax rate, whether it's to leave it the same, which Jeff Harlow said, we can't do this. We just don't have the financial ability to do this. So
that's what I was been asking all night. I got the word that it had failed or nothing had happened with it one or the way or another. And so I said, tonight the increase is not going to take place tonight. But
you're right, it is not going to take place tonight.
But what can happen if they say that they must have this money? Must. It's no other choice. And it gets turned down. What's going to happen?
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, you got Jeff Marlowe sitting there knowing that several of them want to fire him. He's trying to do the best he can to participate. But how do you feel about you're sitting there in the budget process knowing you got people sitting here wanting to fire you?
Yeah.
I'd be less interested in helping them. But who knows? Nobody asked that kind of a question. And that's the part of the problem. You got people that are afraid to even ask questions.
Where's your leaders on the county commission?
You don't have any. Not a one. Okay? You got what you got. Here's one thing. They keep talking about paving that wide open road, and I've been an advocate for that several times. But Ron Bilbecker, our road superintendent, sent a letter in. He got real brave and sent a letter in to the Bonnet Press and to, I guess, the other newspapers that I don't want a tax increase, and I can figure out another way to do this. Well, they got him up there to speak, and while he was speaking, I asked him, I said, Mr. Bilbecker, if you don't get this extra tax money, how much of that wide open road are you going to be able to pay? He said, 1 mile. I said, exactly right. 1 mile, that's it. And that's only because he's getting expense from the state to do it.
Yeah.
That's not because that's what he wants to do. He's getting a grant from the state to do that 1 mile. Otherwise, that wouldn't get done already. So, he's sitting there and said, no, I don't want a tax increase. Yet he told those people in White Oak that he's going to pave that road. Well, without the tax increase, no, he's not going to pave that road.
Okay. Well, I got other callers, but I'm going to have to go to break, and I'm going to keep you until I go to break for another 2 minutes, okay? Because I got a couple questions I want to ask.
Okay.
Okay. I know that the Slusher had some strong words for the commission and the mayor last week. Do you think that the mayor is getting more involved because of, or is Slusher the pushing or whatever? Do you believe that that's being effective?
Do I believe Slusher's being effective?
What I'm saying, is it affecting the court? Because the court...
Absolutely it's affecting the court, because he was able to get a lot of people there for his, and they've all sat there because all them people there are really turned into 15 cowards.
But what I'm saying is, what he's doing, does it bring out anyone that's a leader in that group, or they seem to me like they're just shutting up and evidently not paying any attention to what he's saying, because he's got no one absolutely taking any kind of lead.
You're talking about the county commissioner?
Yeah.
Oh, they're scared to death of it. It's that simple. They're scared to death of it. There's no question they are. It's that simple.
Well, what about the mayor?
The mayor's not, because the mayor still brought forth an initiative and said, I'm proposing a 25% tax increase.
Okay.
He said, there's the mayor, he went over it, and he ended up going over it twice. It was very specific about what his idea was, and this is what I would like to see. He said, I would like to see a 25% tax increase. This is where all the money's going to go, every bit of it. Okay? See, these commissioners, RL, have got so shamed by Jim Slusher and the tactics that he's used, which have been very successful. The tactics he's used are very successful. Okay? A couple of weeks ago, or last week or something, they brought up, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to be the lead dogs. Let's vote to get rid of our discretionary funds. They didn't do it then. Okay? Then they said, let's vote to get rid of the county commissioners who have county health insurance. That failed too. Well, tonight, okay, it was brought back up in front of all those people, and they voted to get rid of that discretionary fund. Again, the insurance that was brought up in front of all those people, they voted to get rid of it. They're a bunch of cowards, RL. They're a bunch of cowards.
Okay. Well, appreciate you calling in, buddy.
Okay, thank you, brother.
Bye-bye. We'll be back out of these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Just hang on. Okay. Tennessee Outdoors is located in the high school on Baker Highway, Highway 63, right straight across from the Rome State Community College. If you know where that's at, you can't miss it. And they have your zero turn Husqvarna outdoor tractors. They have 48 months financing, zero financing, firearms, ammo, hunting, fishing supplies. They got a lot of stuff. You just need to stop our and the folks that runs that is just top-notch people. True Value Homes. You got property that you, hey, this is one of those things, folks. If you got financial backing and you got some property you need to develop, this would be a great way to do it. It's just a thought. I might get involved in that. I just know I done it about 20 years ago. I couldn't. I just didn't have the intestinal fortitude to deal with renters all the time. Some of them was great. My brother does it and loves it, so it didn't work for me. But it could work for you. And True Value Homes, and you got plenty of property, that'd be a great way to do it. Also, Ron's Golf Carts and Flea Market bringing you tonight's show, and Rick's Drugs at Jacksboro. They're open on Saturday until 1 o'clock, and they do take Humana insurance. Okay, you're on the air.
Okay, sir. Now, if they're going to have a 5 o'clock meeting to try to get rid of Jeff Marlowe, the people need to have a 4 o'clock meeting to try to get rid of every member of the county commission. Because I'm telling you now, he's been down there 20 years, I guess, they ought to wash his feet every day that he walks into office. Jeff Marlowe is the only reason this county has stayed afloat, because he's done this, that, and other to make sure they've had the money. Now he's telling them that they're gonna have to do something. These people don't have the backbone about them to make this motion to raise that. There's no doubt that they need to raise it. And if they can get by with only 25%, they need to do it. And we elected these fools that's down there. They ain't one of them that got halfway sense that even needs to be there. If they cannot see that they don't have the money and that these taxes are so low now, I mean, they're peanuts. It's not going to affect the common people, the working people, not nowhere, nothing like they're acting like it's going to be. So they need to get their dumb hind in, because I'm not going to cuss, because Lord knows I want to, so bad I can't stand it. But I mean, now, you know it as well as I do, that I mean, and whether you like Jeff, whether you don't. I mean, I do, and I've not seen the man in 20 years, not seen him. But I know why he got put in the position he was in, and I know year after year after year after year that he is the savior for stuff, and they all bitch and moan and gripe because he's got a couple family members in that office down there. So if that's their problem with them, get rid of them, if that's the whole issue with everything. But he is the only reason that this county has stayed afloat since the day that he was put in the position. From the state of Tennessee, mind you. It wasn't from nobody, around here saying. It was because they had a bunch of fools back then, like they've got down there now, they couldn't get nothing done. They don't understand how to run a county. I bet that half of them can't even run their own household. They don't know how to run a business. They couldn't do it. And this county is a business and should be run as a business. And if you got people that ain't intelligent enough to run it, they shouldn't be in the position. And if they ain't got the hind end about them to vote, yes, we've got to increase these taxes, we have to do it, then they can say, well, I'm going to step down because I'm not competent enough to know how to run this county. So I'm going to go back with my tail between my legs and wish I'd never run for this office. And that's every one of them down there. Every one of them are pissed poor. They don't need the job they got. And the people, but I wouldn't even vote for none of them. I never have, nor would I ever, because there's not one of them. Tom Hatmaker, and I wasn't for Tom. Tom was the only one that's ever been down there in the last 20 years that's had sense enough to try to buck up against him. But he just got tired of it. Now, don't blame Tom, for not going, wanting more of it. Because he's the only one that would stand up to them and tell them. There's none of them. I mean, none of them got sense enough to hold their position, and they should be ashamed. Every one of them should go home tonight and be ashamed to lay their head down that they couldn't make this vote and get that done. It is pitiful, and they want to get rid of their only savior they got. I kind of wish that Jeff would move on and go get him a good job and leave here, and then I would love to see the shape that this county goes in. Because, it is just getting more piss poor each year as it goes on.
You're upset, aren't you?
I'm aggravated. Well, when they say, because, as long as you've been over here, who is the only person that that you tell me the truth, since you've been here, who is the only person that has cut and done and tried to make it go here and tried to make it go there and fixed it and made it work from year to year?
I will say this, and I've said it on the air several times before. He absolutely runs that court, or has run that court for ever since I've been over here, and I've been over here 13 years.
And he has done it here because they can't do it themselves. He wouldn't have to do it. If we could put a county commission in there that could get the job done, the man's voice would never be heard. Would absolutely never be heard. It shouldn't be heard. You shouldn't have to hear from him. You should not have to hear from him at them meetings and stuff. They should be able to take care of that business themselves, but they can't.
Okay.
That's why his job is what it is.
Before you have a heart attack, I'm going to let you go.
Goodbye. See you, buddy.
Bye. You're on the air.
Hey.
Yeah.
I admire your last caller, but I'm going to have to disagree with him. Our debt has doubled under Jeff Marlowe. Our obligation to our property has doubled, more than doubled under Marlowe. The county has declined under Marlowe. Average incomes declined. Household incomes declined. Property values have declined. We've had serious financial woes in this county. He has the largest staff in the state of Tennessee for a finance office. He signed off on everything Charles Martin did, who was superintendent of the schools, and left under a dark cloud of splitting checks to avoid the bid process, which is illegal in Tennessee. Marlowe signed off on every one of those at least 3 times. And that's the reason Charles Martin has never been brought to trial and never will be, because Marlowe has influence. And he was under a cloud. Charles Martin had to resign, but Marlowe escaped totally clean, and he got a kickback from the school system for doing that for Martin, in the tune of about $16,000 or $17,000 a year. So I have to disagree with your last caller on Marlowe.
Okay. Appreciate your call.
Hey, appreciate you, man.
You're on the air.
Hello, Al.
Hi.
Hey, that was praising Jeff Marlowe, but he's one of the biggest crooks in this county. He should have been fired years ago. I was one with that group, went down there at the courthouse that night to help them get fired, and they just kept them on.
Yeah. I don't know, I do think that the first caller on this issue, and what Jerry Chadwell said is, there's some truth in that. That is, you don't have any real leaders on your commission. There's not one out there. Even your chairman pro tem, he sits back and he's an okay guy, but he sits back and he don't get totally involved. And he's been there a long time. And the mayor needs to get involved. Well, he did a little bit, but still they're still down. At 9:30 they were still down there, and there needs to get some real involvement. And I have said it many times. You're sitting here, and not as a criticism to Jeff Marlowe, but as an observer that I've seen many times that Jeff Marlowe absolutely, if it wasn't him questioning people or saying this and that, he leads the commission, and he tells them what they can do or they can't do, and he shouldn't be allowed to do that. It should have to be coming from Coker or coming from your mayor or from your chairman pro tem.
He does. I've seen that for years. He's got some kind of hold on him.
What
it is.
I'll tell you what it is. It's intelligence. He knows what's going on. Appreciate your call.
Okay, hey, ask him about the solar panels if he ever calls in. I got them put in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're on the air.
Good evening, RL.
Hello.
I hate to admit this, but I have to agree with Jerry Kidd. And that took a lot of courage for me to say that.
Oh my God, I reckon.
Yeah, for me to agree with him. But, I mean, even though some of
Now, you know, well, hold on. I've got to make a little joke about this. Don't say too much about Jerry, because he'll call you, be trying to get a date.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead. Well,
Wait a minute. Let me see those pigs are flying over my house. Wait a minute. Okay. Some of his facts are correct and some is not. The reason that Mr. Marlowe, who's probably making more money than the county mayor.
Oh, he is, and no question.
All right, now, and let's just touch on a few of the things. When that other gentleman called in and said that his, I think it was on Chadwell's show, what was Monty Bullock or whoever it was, that none of his employees have gotten raises. Well, why did Campbell County allow, and without a whimper, allow the state of Tennessee to decide what your department heads get? When Mr. Bullock called in, he just got his raise. It's automatic, mandatory. We have to pay so much for those department heads that could be consolidated. But Jeff Marlowe has survived because you haven't had a county mayor that is willing to appoint a citizen financial management committee that cannot be touched, that can advise. That's why he has survived.
I'll tell you,
that's why he survived, because you have not had a county mayor that knows enough about finance or is willing to find out exactly where the accounts are. I've said it before, I put it in my column. You need a forensic bookkeeper to go down there and go over it. The money is there, but Mr. Marlowe has been involved. He signed checks for over $50,000 for work that should have been subcontracted out. Any other place in this world, he would have been dismissed on the spot. But you don't have a county mayor, and you don't have a financial committee that sits and watches this stuff. That's why the problem is that the mayor, he doesn't get involved in the finances. That's why Mr. Marlowe's been able to do and have one of the largest offices in this county, and I've written it. They need to outsource. They need to outsource the ambulance service, custodial service, that trash place or recycle center, and save this county some money. But when you've got mandated by the state that your elected department heads have to get a certain amount of money, they were making a little over 65. I think it now near 70. So Marlowe has been able to do this because no county mayor gets involved.
I think the Campbell County mayor, I'm I'm trying to pull it off the top. I believe it's either $81,000 or $83,000 a year.
Yeah, and he got a raise too.
And the one in Scott County makes like $78,000. It's a
Yeah, but like I say,
$4,000
that's
difference.
state mandated. All your office holders, elected office holders, it's state mandated.
Right.
They get incremental raises. How can that happen in Campbell County when you've got those department heads? Now I think it's 3 times what's the poverty level. That's not supposed to exceed that, but still, as a county, we should have never allowed the state to do that to us.
Okay.
He shouldn't. But Mr. Marlowe, I'm not saying he's a dishonest man. He's a man that has been able to manipulate and get what he wanted out of it, because no county mayor and your whole county commissioners have never said, we need a finance committee that can look at this in an objective way. Now, you did have Mr. Slusher on that committee, and they kicked him off. Why? Because he said, this is wrong. They don't want anybody that's going to tell him. And for our county attorney to be on his side, that's another joke. Did our county attorney not represent those people that wanted to bring that dump up in Duff? And when it got found out, he had to recuse himself and drop the client.
Yep.
In any other place, he would have been dismissed. So, of course, he's going to be on Mr. Marlowe's side.
Now listen,
That goes on all the time, because you don't have a county mayor that knows how to lead this county and talk to the people. And that's your problem.
appreciate your comment.
All right.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Oh, yes. I've lived here my whole life, and I don't think that Campbell County will ever have anything. They get the corrupt politics out of there. And, not saying anything bad, but it's the truth. If you got someone there such that power, such as Mr. Marlowe, he's got a license to steal the county line, and he has for years. And, that one lady says you get a forensic auditor, so to speak. You got people outside this county to audit and protect the money of Campbell County, or got people outside this county. You see some change.
Okay, appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Well, I see where they disagree with me, and that's fine. Because I believe everybody has their opinion on that.
Right.
Now, with over the years, if you've not had a county commission or a mayor that could do the job, if they had a commission that could do the job that they are supposed to do, they wouldn't have to have Jeff Marlowe's input. He has to give his input, because all the foolish people that we have elected in this county cannot do their job. So if they didn't have Jeff, then they would be up the creek without no paddle. And Jeff don't profit no more than what his payday is out of that office. They got a state comptroller that goes over every nickel in every county, so to make sure that there's not money here, gone there, what. And if they do, they bring criminal charges against them. So that's here, that's Scott County, that's Knox County, that's every county. But as far as the state mandates on the stuff, on the payments, I can see where people don't like that. But, they're getting up to the wages that it should be. As much as our other workers should have higher wages.
Well, tell me
If
this.
they increase these taxes, you're not going to be able to pay them squat. You're not going to be able to pave these roads. You're going to have a tax increase. These people don't want it, but it's something that's going to have to be done.
What?
And if you elect a commission and you get a mayor that you don't have to have your county attorney and your finance director to have to tell you how to do something, because they don't know how to do it. If them two men and Joe Coker, I don't have nothing for the man, but he does at least speak up, but if them two men didn't speak up and guide the county commission, they could get nothing done.
Yeah, I've never seen a commission, and I can't say that I've seen a whole lot of commission. I've seen a few in Knoxville and the ones in Scott County and the ones over here. But I'm telling you, as for asking for guidance, I mean,
Your financial, at your council meetings that you go to, and
we don't even, he don't even go to the meetings.
well, why not? Well, why should he? He should be there giving them advice. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Go to Knox County. See one in Knox County. You can watch them on television here in Campbell County. Watch Anderson County. It's on your cables. You got it right here because we've only got one cable system that's allowed in this county. Wonder why that is. You know, because we could have 5, 6 more that's even more than willing to come in this county, but they don't. We only have one, Comcast. So, but you get Anderson County, watch there. Their financial director, their lawyers, they don't speak up. So why do we have to have them two men speak up down there? It's because these other idiots don't know what's going on. So these two men are the men to do. So you keep blame. I mean, people are gonna blame. You hear them blaming Jeff Marlowe for this, that, and the other. Why have they not got rid of him in the last 20 years? Why has he been down there? It's because he's the only one that's got the intelligence to help him run the county. But I do agree that all the ambulance service should be outsourced. We shouldn't be in that business.
It should be against it is against the law. We should be allowed to continue to run.
Yes, these county bus contracts that we've got, absolutely, there's no way that shouldn't be bidded out every year. You know, there's several things. You could go down a list of 1,000 things. But this county commission, the last one, the one before it, the one before it, they don't have sense enough to do it. They don't know how to do it. They have to have a Jeff Marlowe and Joe Coker. You fire Jeff Marlowe, you fire Joe Coker tomorrow, you'll have to replace them two men because that bunch that's down there cannot run the county.
You can't fire Joe, but you could fire Marlowe.
Oh, well, have a good, safe trip back. I love y'all.
Appreciate it.
See you, buddy.
There's one question even here lately that I have a very hard problem with getting a grip of it. How did they fire Stan Marlowe? I don't understand that. You have because Stan reported to Jeff, I think, or the mayor. But somebody had to sign those orders to purchase stuff that is questionable. So who, and I'm asking who, I don't know whether it's the mayor or where it was, I know that Marlowe would have to sign off on it. I got time for one more call, but that's the only thing that bothers me the most right now is what's going on. You're on the air.
Oh, yeah. Let me clarify that for you. Stan Marlowe was moved to courthouse maintenance. When he was put in the courthouse maintenance, that position was advanced to the mayor's office. So that essentially put the mayor in charge of him. And it was, what happened was he come in there and when he was asked about, he had hired somebody to come in and do all this work at the courthouse and other departments in the county, and they had paid this guy $58,000. Well, they asked Stan to explain that, and he said, well, he does a really good job at everything he does, and, you know, the only difference they thought was that this guy was probably qualified or certified to work on the HVAC unit, and Stan wasn't. But when they asked if he was qualified to work on those, Stan said, no, he's not qualified. So they asked Stan if he was qualified, and he said, no, I'm not qualified. So essentially, he hired somebody to come in and do his job for the year.
Well, whenever they interviewed him, how did they put him in charge of that if he didn't know how or couldn't supervise someone how to do it?
So Jeff had to make it look like he cut his budget. So he sends one of his secretaries out to the environmental services. He put Stan over at the courthouse to get him out of his department. Turns around and tells the county commission he got 2 positions out of his department. Well, in fact, he didn't. He just moved the money. And that was brought to his attention, and he had to admit to that. Yeah, I didn't cut 2 positions, I just moved them.
Okay. Okay,
He was not, he did not answer to the finance department, he answered
to the mayor.
yes.
Okay, appreciate your call, buddy.
Okay, see.
Okay, folks, my time has come and gone. Don't forget Tennessee Outdoors, True Value Homes, Ron's Golf Cart Flea Market, and Riggs Drugs bringing you tonight's show. And folks, it was an interesting one tonight. It got hot. I'll see you all next week.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing